What's up, everybody? It's Drunk Nerds, Evan Hoovler here, and I'm just going to do an auction and walk you through the process I use in my auctions and show you some of my decision makings. Now, if you're doing an auction online, there's two things that you might not think, well, there's one thing you might not think of bringing, and it's an audio output source. But it's important because when there gets to be about 3 seconds left before a player is sold, it makes the noise bonk, 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 sold. And sometimes when you get busy, you get distracted, and a player you like might be going for a really low amount. So it's always nice to hear that, to get reminded, oh, let me check the screen here. Yes, I want that person. I'm clicking my button. That's what I do. The only other thing I bring is just a checklist for barbecues, a strategy. I want two guys I love, a RB for somewhere around $35, an RB for somewhere around $25. I want to pay for a wide receiver too. I want to pay less than half of whatever, I'm doing Yahoo today, whatever Yahoo says it's worth. I don't want to pay more than $10 for a quarterback. That expensive quarterbacks kills teams that I structure. And then I want to save $2 for every bench player. So I want to have at least 12 left over in the end. And while we wait for it to start, it's going to start. Oh, you can see that. It's going to start in 1 minute. I'm going to do some shots at 99. Oh, that's not good. And I am, they're distracting me in chat. And I am going to, you know what I'm drinking? I'm sure people will ask. I'm drinking Cannabis Double IPA by Oscar Blues, a very well-known, very good company, and 99 watermelons. And they both have one thing in common. Neither of them is sponsoring me, so call me. All right, we're going to load the draft room in 3, 2, 1. Oh, the draft is now loading. How exciting. If you aren't already, jump into our Discord. If you're watching this on a recording, tinyurl.cc/absurdity. Alright, I don't care about anything new. I'm going to go ahead and close my queue. So let me show you what's going on here. You have my queue up here. A lot of people like to use this to put the players in a tier up. Like they would put their tier 1 players up in this queue, and that way they can see when they're getting kind of low. The last player in a tier on people's lists usually goes for a lot more. So when you see 2 or 3 left, that's when you want to get one. I'm not going to be doing that tonight. I'll demonstrate it another night, but I'm just going to trying to kick it and show you the general ideas I'm doing here. So the draft is starting soon. There's 2 minutes left. There's a chat room. I'm closing that too because that's distracting. Up here you can see it says it's bye week. I don't pay any attention to bye week. All my guys are going to be injured by week 13. Who cares? Then projected value and average cost. Average cost is more like what you're going to pay, especially for those top guys, because those top guys always fetch more than average projected value, because all it takes is 2 people to really want them, and now you've got a bidding war, and everyone's got $200 or so in the beginning. Waiting for the draft to go down. Going to have a drink of beer. I should say, to put players in your queue, you click this little star here on Yahoo. I'll be doing this for a variety of platforms like ESPN. I think Sleeper does it, just to show you each one and the differences and whatnot. It looks like a good full draft. Only one person has not shown up, and their name is Best Bot Ever, so you know they have a sense of humor. Everyone should show up to your auction. If people don't show up to your auction, know that the robot is going to bid a ridiculous amount of money for 3 players and then be cashed out for the rest of the auction. So that's just something to be aware of. I won't be taking advantage of that with my nominees today, because that would not be fair or useful, because it's not representative. Hopefully it's not representative of your auction. Hopefully everyone shows up to your auction. And plus, you don't really need to manipulate the bot, because the bot's already going to ruin the team anyway, so who cares? What's going on here? What else do we have? Oh, projected stats and 2019 stats. Oh, yes, Jeff just mentioned there's a chat on Twitch where people will be asking me questions. I'll be checking that in between. When guys I don't like get nominated, I'll head over to the stream here, and I'll probably do it in the most fogey old person kind of way because I am old and fogey. Okay, the first person nominated is Travis Kelsey. Now, Travis Kelsey is not a guy on my list of people I love. I have about 10% of the guys I love. About 90% I don't want on my team. I don't even want him at a discount. That $5 to $10. If I don't think a guy's worth a second round pick, but he falls to the third round, I can grab the value there because I already got my second round pick. But here, if a guy's fallen to like $10 below his projected value, as Travis Kelsey seems to be, I still don't want him. I want that $10 to be for a guy I want that costs $10, or $10 to bid up a guy I want. Travis Kelsey, I might. No, I don't think I want Travis Kelsey. It's so much easier to pay between $2 and $5 for 2 tight end lottery tickets than it is to manage your team around an expensive tight end. So I usually am passing on these people, even though he's going for $12 less than projected value. Still rather have that $12. There is apparently a sale on panties at Target, if that interests anyone. So that's a thing that just popped up on my screen that how about I just close that because that is distracting. Oh my gosh. But anyway, sale on panties at Target. Oh good. Now here we go, the old people ads. That's what I was wondering when I was going to get to that. Oh no, Yahoo's for some reason telling me that the thing, okay, well thanks Yahoo. I have to turn, I guess, notifications supersede this, whatever. All right, Michael Thomas is up. Michael Thomas is a guy I love. I don't like anybody. I love them, or they can go to somebody else's team. I have about $100 to $130 for the top 2 players I really love, and I want to get 2 of the top 12 players because if I'm not getting 2 first-round picks, what am I even doing in an auction? Why don't I just snake draft and patiently wait? I want more than is due to me. That's why I work auction. And for some reason, people are sandbagging Michael Thomas. He's clearly not going to go for in the 40s. There we go. So notice I'm not taking any time to bid because this guy, I'm not price policing, but I'm not under any pretension that this is going to be his final price. I got 51. Notice how his projected value is 55. That's less than the 100. That doesn't half of the. Usually I spend around 115 for my top 2 guys. That's about a. It's about a. Oh, okay. Yeah, don't tease me like that. Get me Michael Thomas for less than value. Usually I spend about 115. I am between 100 and 130 because I can work with any range in there. But 55 is less than half of 115. And I've got Michael. Okay, somebody gave me a gift and Michael Thomas for $55. Woo! All right. A lot of analysts say nominate a player early that you want because often they go for less because the market value hasn't set. But I find that I can use my nominations more wisely because other people will nominate players I want and I can get them before the market value is set, which is what happened with Michael Thomas. He should not be going for projected value. He's the number 1 wide receiver. I'm over in the Discord. That's what I'm checking constantly, and people are talking, and I like that. And I'm getting razzed, and that's cool. Let's see. So Melvin Gordon's on my I don't want him list. I don't want him. Doesn't mean I wouldn't pick him in a snake draft. But in a fantasy football auction, I want. Oh, dude, I'm still getting. Okay, now I'm getting Braziers. All right. This is great. Good. I like the targets the peanut gallery here. Okay, cool. Probably some embarrassing Target ads going to come up. Can't wait. Notice how Melvin Gordon even is going for almost projected value. Average cost $21.50. Well, $21.5. This is why I don't like that adage, nominate a guy you want early before the market's set. It only takes one other person to love the guy that you love, and now you're in a bidding war. And early is when everybody's sitting on stacks of cash. Melvin Gordon there went for $33 when he usually goes for $21.5. Good move on whomever nominated him. He's a guy I don't like, but he sucked out over $11 more than he usually sucks out of the pot. Derrick Henry, guy I do not like. I would take him like maybe 6th overall in a standard auction, a standard snake draft, but I'm not thrilled with his downside in an auction. So you all can have it. Notice how I'm not going to. One thing to notice. I need to calm down. I get so excited. Yeah, IHE Hitman says the first 3 to 4 nominations tend to not go as high as, say, 5 through 9, and then everyone overpays for 5 through 9 because the remaining pool is small. That's good to note, and it's good to note the trend for your auction, because those are people you know. I find it's all over the place, depending upon whom I auction with. So you can't count on that, but if that's how your auction has been in previous years, and it's the same people pretty much, you can pretty much count on that probably happening. While we're waiting for Derrick Henry to get up, another auction tip, and this won't be exercised today because they don't pause these auctions, but you can pause the auction, or in real life, you can take a break. We've noticed, a really smart friend of mine noticed that after the break, if you nominate running backs, they go for way more than they're supposed to, because during the break, people look at their teams and go, oh my gosh, I don't have a running back yet, I don't have a running back yet, I don't have a running back yet. So they come in hot looking for that. So that's just, there's a whole art to the nomination strategy, and honestly, spoiler alert, it's usually nominate running backs, but it's important to note all that stuff. Yeah, Jabro notes that's especially true with new auction drafters. Yes, if you're drafting, you're release drafting for the auction for the first time, it's good to still do barbecue strategy, but you can count on getting a good bench for about $12 because everyone blows their budgets early because, you know, we just opened the candy store for the first time and they gave me $200. I'm going to be getting stuff. So if you follow barbecue strategy, you get 2 players you like, but then kind of parcel it out. Usually that comes up even better in new player auctions, which it should because they're new. It should be easier. Lamar Jackson going for $23. I have to check my formula here. No, that is more than $10. More than $10. So I am not going to be bidding on Lamar Jackson. Price policing, where you bid a person up so he doesn't go for a steal, is an okay strategy. It works most of the time. It doesn't work every time, though. And when it doesn't work for me, I end up with a guy I didn't really want, even at a discount, and that's not how I do my auction. It might work for you, it might make you happy, but I just want to look over here and be in love with my team. And right now, I am totally in love with Michael Thomas for $55. Oh, Christian McCaffrey. Is this guy on a I love him list? Yeah, guess what? All right, thank you. Somebody just bid up to 53. It's poor etiquette to, if someone's going for like a third, if the bidding is like a third to 40% of what a player's projected value is, especially earlier on, it's poor etiquette to bid $1 more. And it could be argued that it's poor strategy because people want to bid on them just to feel like they had a shot at them. So it's always good to jump that bidding up as that player did to the 50s. That way we get to this endpoint and we're not sitting around having a tea party for $1 more each time, because we know Christian McCaffrey is not going for whatever it was at, $20. Let's see, he's at 70 now. If I get him with Michael Thomas, I'm at $125, which is less than my 130. But my Michael Thomas pick allows me to have, I usually bid up to 60. So I have $5 more than usual to play with a guy. I'd like to get a guy for maybe 55 or 60. That way I have about $85 to play with. Now if I were to bid for him now, that would still fall within the realm of barbecue strategy because I would be under 130. But that doesn't mean, just because you can be there doesn't mean you have to be there every time. And I came off to such a great start with Michael Thomas that I'm like, you can slow your roll, Evan. You don't have to have the best player in every category. Someone has zagged here with Le'Veon Bell. Le'Veon Bell's one of the guys I like. He fits that $25 running back slot that's on my list here. But it's so early, and I know at least 2 people here probably love Le'Veon Bell that I don't think I'm going to get him for $25. So I'd rather just save. I'll go 24. Now, if somebody bids, I'm not going to go on, especially this early when I don't know exactly how the auction's going to go. I don't want to be exceeding my $35 or my $25, not until I get my second player I love. Once I get my second player I love, I can really make a plan for the rest of the auction. But until I have two players that I'm just over the, well, I shouldn't say love because I love all my players, that I'm just over the moon about. I don't want to be going $1 more than my estimate for Le'Veon Bell this early because I don't know how this auction is going to go. Maybe I want that $1 back. Maybe, I don't think I'm going to regret that. I don't think I'm going to regret not paying market, I don't think I'm going to regret paying market value for an RB3, you know? I don't really worry about that. That just fills in my team. With my RB3s and my wide receivers, 2s, I just want them to show up to work, get me their average, and let my stars win the game. Patrick Mahomes going for market value now. Quarterbacks are a fun early nomination because paying $36 for a quarterback can wreck a team. Although it could be argued that if you're going to pay $37 for a quarterback, you're not great at fantasy football anyway. I don't know. I've seen good teams with $40 quarterbacks, so I wouldn't argue necessarily say that's true, but it is merit. I don't think I need this around my neck. It's making my neck sweat, which is super hot, and it's my fans all sexified. All right, so Mike Evans is on my do not. Yes, I am wearing underwear. I had to debate. Jabro wrote, with that camera angle, I hope he's wearing underwear. And, you know, I sat here for a while. I'll frame myself a little better in the future, but I didn't have much time to frame myself, and I was debating whether I wanted to have a large amount of space over my head and not show my legs, or have a small space above my head and show my legs. And I decided small space above my head, legs shown is better. In the future, I'll move closer to the camera, but I like these notes. I like being criticized in real time. I don't know, maybe that's why I'm a teacher when I'm not writing for footballabsurdity.com. So anyway, Mike Evans is on my no list. I don't know. I don't want to have faith in Tom Brady. You know, maybe if I sat down and looked at the numbers and was objective, I would have faith in Tom Brady. But then I'm a guy who has faith in Tom Brady, who screwed my Raiders. And screw that. He sucks. So I don't want to believe in him. That kind of attitude does not work in snake drafts. But boy, oh boy, it's going to work in auction. Because I don't have to get value on everybody. I just get guys I love. I don't have to hate a guy because of performance issues. I can just hate a guy because I hate a guy. And now it's an important time. It's my turn to nominate a guy. And I generally don't want to nominate a guy that's in the top 12 because they're all probably going to get nominated anyway. But I do want to nominate a guy that I hate, like Odell Beckham or maybe Todd Gurley. And when in doubt, I'm going to do the running back because I don't have a running back. So I want to not only get a lot of money out of the pool with a guy that's up there in the top 24, I also want to put a running back in another owner's slot. So if that owner is going dollar for dollar with me for a guy I like, then they might think, well, I don't have to really push it. I've got my RB1 already, and he's Todd Gurley. Interestingly, on our podcast today, Jeff kind of turned me around on Todd Gurley. I wouldn't mind him for a $25 running back. Now, there's going to be $25 running backs going for way more. There might be a $25 running back going for less than $25, which is why I'm not bidding $27 on Todd Gurley. But he's no longer on my I hate him list. He is on my love list. But he's not on my over the moon about list, which is reserved for like the top 12 guys in my rankings. Devonte Adams is up. Devonte Adams is on my love list. I worry about getting a good stable of running backs, though, if I go wide receiver, not unlike snake drafts. And so I'm going to sit back and see if the room is chilly on Devonte Adams. Okay, no, you're going to let me have him for 46. There we go. I'll take him for 47 because then I'll have only spent $102 and I can put $28 extra on my $35 RB to bump him up to $63 and go nuts. You know? But as I suspect, people are going to bump him up a little more. Okay, I'll go 50. 105 still puts $25 on my $35 RB, which gives me $60 to play with for my first running back. My drafts usually don't go like this. Okay, I got him for $50. Cross off 2 guys I love from a checklist. But now I'm kind of focused on the fact that I don't have a running back. I'd love to, now I'm taking a look here, I'd love to get a running back that might be on the borderline I love list. Saquon Barkley's up. I love him, but I already have 2. I'm over the moon about him, but I already have 2 people I love. Let me see. Oh, good. I scroll down. I'll take, let me see here. I have at most $25 left over from my 100 to 130. More like $10 because I usually average 115 and things work out. So call it $15 max, which gives me $50 for an RB. I'd love to get I don't like Nick Chubb. I don't love Mixon. I'd love to get a Kenyon Drake and Aaron Jones. No. A Kenyon Drake and Austin Eckler or Josh Jacobs for that $50. Or maybe even a Miles Sanders, but I don't know. And as you can see from their averages, they're way less than 50. So probably one of them will go for less than 50. And I'll have what I would consider the barest but adequate representation of an RB1, especially compared with Michael Thomas and Devonte Adams. This is fun. This is going in a different direction that it ever went. And if you're posting in the Twitch chat, I'm sorry, it's going too fast right now. I'll check it eventually. I'm just checking my Discord because I have it open. I will be checking it, though. Don't think I'm ignoring you. Kenny Gallaudet, a player I love. I suspect he'll be a top 5 wide receiver. I mean, he was a top 6 wide receiver last year, and his, quarterback had a broken back. However, I've already got my 2 wide receivers. Now I just want to hold out. It's interesting getting 2 wide receivers with barbecue strategy because you usually depend on a high-end wide receiver 2 for your flex, as opposed to depending on your $35 or your $25 running back. Just an interesting twist, but that doesn't mean you have to depend on it. It just means know that option's available for you. It doesn't. Wide receiver in snake drafts usually limits how you are. In auction, it can kind of give you alternate options. For instance, now I can flex a wide receiver if I want to. This is a 12. Oh, Fake Plastic T says avoid a 3rd wide receiver. Would love to hear more. Fake Plastic T is smart. I would love to hear more. Where was I? Oh, I should mention this is a 12-team auction in case you didn't count the number of people. $200 budget. Normal 2 wide receiver. There's 2 wide receivers, 2 running backs, and a flex, in case you were wondering. Oh, good. Fake Plastic T is typing. Ezekiel Elliott, I'm not big on him. I'll take him as my $35 wide receiver should I happen to spend like $100 on my top 2 players and then he goes for like mid-50s at most. But that's how much I don't like him, is that, okay, you can be my $35 player. Oh, yes, Fake Plastic T is saying, just get Scary Terry or DJ Moore for sub $25 later. Yes, that's definitely, I didn't mean I'm going to put a 3rd wide receiver in that I pay market value for. All that is a wide receiver 2 will go for half its projected value every single auction. I've run 50 auctions on various platforms with humans. Always a wide receiver 2, which is very deep this year, goes to about rank 31. We'll go for 50%, and we're talking 50% like $5 to $15. And I can pay $10 for a wide receiver 2 here. Yeah, I'm not bidding on a wide receiver for a long time. I didn't mean to apply that. Thanks for mentioning that, Fake Plastic T. Aaron Jones, I don't care. Green Bay drafted a running back. That's all I need to scurry under a hole and hide from Aaron Jones. In a real auction, he falls to me in the 3rd. In a real snake draft? Okay, maybe. But again, this is auction, and I just want to look over to the side and say, Michael Thomas, I'm excited about the best wide receiver season in history. Devonte Adams, I'm excited about the only wide receiver that Aaron Rodgers has to throw to. Great. Let's get some more exciting people. I'm hoping to snag Kenyon Drake, Austin Eckler, or Josh Jacobs, which are now all together. That's interesting. Now, if those all go more than, what do I have budgeted, 50? Then I got to make some important decisions. I'll probably pass and see if Miles Sanders falls. I think he's the last in that tier for me, although he's a step behind these people, so maybe he's in his own tier. I don't know. Here's Alvin Kamara. Okay, here we go. 52. Please be bidding up. Good. You can see most of these guys go for above market value. You should go in assuming that the top 15 running backs are going to go in for above market value, because it's a lot better to say, oh wow, this running back didn't go for market value, I have a little extra money, than it is to say, whoa, everyone's bidding all the time and I'm not getting the players I love. That's why the barbecue rankings are... Hey, Fake Classic T thinks that Aaron Jones will finish a top 12 running back. Cool. So you can put him on your love list. That's awesome. He's not on mine because I have the doubt. That's fine too. What was I saying about barbecue strategy? I don't remember. Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I like him. Do I want him to be my RB1? No. Usually I pencil him in my $35 running back category. But here, there's just the risk is too great, especially with what Jeff and Mike were talking about on our podcast. How long is it going to take for him to know the offense enough to outpace Damien Williams, who was on the offense as their main running back in a Super Bowl year? Now, don't think I like Damien Williams. Damien Williams hate forever, but it's enough for me to say I don't want him as my running back one, as opposed to Kenyon Drake, Austin Eckler, or Josh Jacobs, who have all done it before. That's a little bit of an exception for the COVID year. Normally, I would have gone to 35 for CEH. Because of the COVID, no preseason, a little gun shy. Here's Leonard Fournette and the computer, best spot ever. Okay, well, thanks, bot person, for not showing up. Best spot ever committed a small breach of etiquette by jumping straight to the triple dog dare. Somebody bid 5 and best spot ever bid 27. And now Casey, who's the other player who's not here, who's a robot, and best spot ever are having a bidding war. This is great. 2 bots are competing to see who can be the worst at this. Amazing. I can't recall seeing that. Back in like April, when they first start running these, I'll do some auctions where it's just me and 11 bots just to see the flow. I don't really learn anything. But sometimes I'll leave early, and it strikes me as hilarious that when I leave, it's just 11 robots arguing with each other for 2 hours. It tickles me. George Kittle, another guy where I'm like, oof. If I get him for, he's not going for, if he comes in there, that's $30 that I've usually budgeted $2 to $5 for in tight end. Really can't make that work. I've won money leagues with a $35 tight end, but it's not consistent enough for me. And the thing I want to do with auction is I want to consistently end up with a team I love. Because even more than snake drafts, where they force you to pick a first rounder, a lot of people end up dead in the water straight out the gate because they didn't get players they loved, or they waited for bargains on people, and which you should do on some players, like wide receiver 2s, but if you wait for bargains on everyone, you're just going to get the player that has so many question marks, not a single other owner wanted him, enough to start a bidding war. And George Kittle went for $31. That's a great price for him. Whomever has him, good job. They can structure their team around him. It won't be me. Jonathan Taylor Thomas, great actor. Home Improvement, overrated show. But Jonathan Taylor Thomas is projected for $28. Wow. Okay. You guys really like Jonathan Taylor Thomas. Again, I think Jeff was saying Indianapolis running back game might need a do-over because nobody knew what was going on when Andrew Luck retired. So they were put in the lurch, and defenses knew it and could plan against it. So maybe Marlon Mack has more in him because last year you can't take that as a true representative sample of his performance ability because of the crazy unusual situation of a top-tier quarterback retiring with just a short amount of time before the season started. Yeah, JTT is protected to take over the offense from Mac, and that's great, especially with my team right now, where I need a running back that's going to perform now. I can't work in a guy who's projected to take it on later. I need performance now so that they can get some points while Michael Thomas and Devonta Adams win me games. I'm going to nominate Marking Ram because Marking Ram, for some reason, is going for up to $15. If I thought better, I probably would have nominated. And all these guys are going to get nominated, so I don't really want to nominate them. Don't want to do other people's work for me. Yeah, Marking Ram is the first running back after the top 12 currently on the board that I really hate. So, and somebody, Jay, is paying $18 for him. Good. Get all this money out of the pot. Get Marking Ram on, so it puts Marking Ram as so I can point with my mouse. Get it so now, let's see who got that. Jay, you love Baltimore. So now Marking Ram is slotted here on the computer. A little subtle psychological effect. He's slotted as the RB2. I imagine that Jay is going to get a more competent RB2. But Jay might be talking himself into Marking Ram right now as an RB2 because he spent so much for him. He might be reluctant to compete with me for an RB1, knowing that, hey, I guess I must love Marking Ram because he must be great. Therefore, it's one of those cart before the horse kind of things. Tyrek Hill going for 34. I wonder if he will be for a steal. Oh, I'm getting some home improvement hate. Sorry. Maybe Tim Allen just sucks as a person, and that's what I'm confusing with classic 90s sitcoms. Tyrek Hill still at a bargain price. Oh, 44. I was going to say, if he goes for 43, after being projected for 52 and averaging 48, I would have rather had Tyrek Hill than Devonta Adams for 50. But do I regret anything? No, because my goal with my top two guys is not to get a bargain, to not hold out and risk not getting any of the guys I love. My goal with my top two guys is just get them and then figure out the rest of my team with those two superstars at the top. So Tyrek Hill going for a bargain is fine. That's not my strategy. I'll get a bargain on the wide receiver 2s. I might get a bargain on my RB4. Or no, I guess it'll be my RB2 here. I need to worry about running back. I might, let me see here. Well, how much did I give myself? $15 extra. I might try to get an RB for 40 to 45 and then parlay roll the remaining money that I saved on my top two players into my $25 RB. So optimally, I would get Eckler, Kenyon Drake, or Josh Jacobs for somewhere around their average, which is between 38 and 45, and then roll the rest into getting Miles Sanders for somewhere around his average. Optimally, that would be what would happen. Now, is that going to happen? So now I need to scroll down and be like, well, Chris, I definitely need to get one of these three. Eckler, Drake, or Jacobs. They're the only ones I trust at the helm. Mixon, his team is weird. They've got a rookie quarterback who had no preseason. I think they're going to stack the box. Chubb, I don't know, Kareem Hunt for a full season. It's Cleveland. Don't like that. Dalvin Cook, not the worst, but he's not going to go for the $50 max I have. So I haven't even been thinking about him. Maybe he will, and then that'll change everything in a good way. Miracles do happen, but I'm not too set on counting on that. Let's see here. Deandre Hopkins, he's a guy I'm over the moon about. Oh, and he's going. You can start to see the wide receivers are starting to go for a bargain. This trend tends to get bigger as it goes on, and they get deeper and deeper. That's why an important strategy is don't pay more than 50% of whatever it says up here for a wide receiver ranked about 16th through 31st. Y'all get him. Yeah, I'm off Chubb. Flake Plastic T says you're off Chubb and it's Stefanski and Pelt run offense. Well, it's you know who else is running the offense? The ghosts of Cleveland past. So I can't have that be my number one RB. I can't have that be the one I trot out at parties when I introduce my RB1. My main stable horse. No, my main bell cow. Can't do it. And just he's going to go for 50. I can't spend 25% of my capital on someone with such a big question mark as will he have a big role in an offense that works the ball down the field. Odell Beckham Jr. is here. Nice nominee. Oh, he's going for 32. People believe, or is it robots? People love Chubb. All right. You love Chubb, get him. The point is not to win your fantasy season. The point is to guarantee that you look over here after you're done and every one of these people makes you happy. That's all it is. That's the beauty of auction. You know, it's if ever I do snake drafts, which I usually don't do, round 7 or 8, I start looking at the people and I'm like, why do people do snake drafts? Why do they subject themselves to picking these horrible, horrible people for 6 straight rounds? When you can just have people that you believe in. So if you believe in Chubb, go get Chubb. Not gonna hate on that. Let's see, Adam Thielen. This is right around the start of. Let me see here. Who's drafted? What wide receiver number are we on here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We're getting down to like Cooper Kupp, I think is, or Amari Cooper, one of those two. That's the 15th or so ranked wide receiver. That's when you start being like, you're gonna see a crazy deal go down. But not Adam Thielen for $30. That is not a deal. That's somebody who doesn't have a wide receiver one, I bet. Going a little nuts. Yeah, no wide receiver one. Jay, who's left the building, no wide receiver one. Yeah, that's a little bit panic bidding, which, if I'm panic bidding, I want to panic bid on a running back to make sure I got it, because wide receiver 2s are just all over the place. Excuse me. Ooh, David Montgomery. I'm glad someone nominated him, as I do not dig his running back stylings. So I will move my clicker as far away from the bid button as possible, and I will watch as he goes for a ridiculous. Oh, 13. Is he going to go for a bargain? Let's see how the room is. How many robots do we have in here? Oh, Casey. We have one robot. Casey did. Casey's a trooper for hanging out. I wonder if they mentioned it. Casey bailed and ended up bidding. Oh no, he didn't end up. A lot of times people will log out for 5 seconds, literally 5 seconds. I don't know. A lot of times people will log out for literally 5 seconds, just a quick disconnect or a switch to another device. And when they come back in, we're like, hey, you got Lamar Jackson for $45. Great job, Robot War. And so Casey was off for, he's been off and on. He's lucky that it looks like he hasn't made a ridiculous bid now. Well, David Montgomery for 18, I would consider that ridiculous, but he made it himself, so that's fine. It's not a robot. Yeah, and the Bears do kind of suck. Hey, Hitman, Nick Foles, the solution, is coming to town with a Super Bowl ring. Surely now, that means anything? Oh, Joe Mixon. I don't like Joe Mixon because of Cincinnati's offense, but let's see what he's gone for. People have been kind of shooting. Let's see. This time I tried to take stock of the room and see how much money is left. I like to usually stay about 50 at the top 50%. Let's see. I have 95 left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of people have more money than me. Not quite 50%, but that's okay. I don't think I want to go $50 for Joe Mixon. I don't want my RB1 to play for Cincinnati. That's just oof. And $50 is the max. If I'm paying $50, I want a guy I want. You know? I don't want a guy who I got value for, but I didn't really like. Yeah, that's not how I do things. Dak Prescott, I will bid... How much? What's my formula again? Hold on, I'm running the numbers. He is currently going for more than $10, so I do not want him. And in the meantime, I'm going to turn on this lamp. I can't plug the lamp in because I got my computer plugged in. I'm running around the room with the lamp. Where would a lamp go? Where would I go if I were a lamp? There we go. Turn on, Mr. Lamp. Hooray. Oh, I actually set up some backlighting here. Woo! All right, hold on. Let me see how this looks. What? I think this might make me look slightly less pasty than I am in real life. Here, hopefully. What did I miss here? You can go over draft results on Yahoo. See what you missed. Dak Prescott went for $12. Well, good for him. James Conner. I don't know. I don't know about James Conner. And what I do know is that I don't know means I don't love him. Someone proposes marriage to you and you go, someone says, will you marry me? And you go, I don't know. Yeah, you know. They're in the don't love list. So that's how I do it. I always ask myself, what if James Conner proposed to me whenever I'm making my James Conner related decisions. Don't take this fantasy away from me. Let's see here. James Conner going for 22. All right. Good for James Conner stock, I guess. If you have James Conner stock, you might be doing a pump and dump here. Let's see here. DJ Moore. I've seen DJ Moore projected for 36. Average cost 20.7. That's their stat says it all. These wide receivers, once they get out of the top 10 or so, just start the money's dried up out of the pool, and the fervor for them has just faded. DJ Moore is worth way more than $20.7. Am I going to bid $20 for him? No, because I don't have that in my budget. Normally, if I had two running backs, yeah, I would get DJ Moore as my number one guy right now for whatever this is, 23, if he stays there. Yeah, 24. Someone once asked me, is there a psychology to the amount remaining? I don't know, but just to be neutral, I like to wait till it gets down to 5, 6, or 7. I don't like bidding when it says 9, because then somebody knows I'm going to bid again, because I'm just... But I also don't like to wait until it gets down to $1, as that dick just did, because that's kind of a dick move, although it might just be he looked up and was like, oh, DJ Moore for 27, I'll hit 28, who knows. But sometimes people will repeatedly let it go down to $1, and that's exhausting. And that's the whole point, to exhaust, but I'm like, come on, man. We don't need psyops here. Just bid what you want for a guy. A.J. Brown, Tennessee. I would take him on my team. For, with my wide receivers filled up, I want to spend between $5 and $10 for my flex wide receiver, if I even get a flex wide receiver, which I probably won't. I'll probably get 3 running backs because that rules, and then I'll have an extra. I almost always get 3 running backs, but the name of the game in auction is flexibility, so I have to keep it open and think, what if I do need a third wide receiver? And why would I need a third wide receiver if things go nuts with these running backs that I want here? Everyone bids them up past what I can budget. Then I'm like, okay, that's okay. I'll just get 2 of them and take the savings on not buying 3 of them into one of these wide receiver 2 deals that are great. Even if I do get 3 running backs, I'm still going to want to grab a wide receiver 2 deal for like $5 to $10 because they're so good. That's why I'm not grabbing a wide receiver anytime soon. All right, where's a running back I don't care too much for that's not in the top 12? Raheem Mustard. Here you go. Yeah. All right, let's see if this takes some money out of the pot. How are people doing for running backs? You've got 2. You've got 1. You've got 1. You've got none. I don't like to see that. And you have $169, and you are here. But that happens. You've got 1, 2. Not as saturated. Ooh, none. And you have $170. Yeah. Not as saturated as I'd hope. And are you sitting on none? All right, there's 3 people with fat stacks of cash that are running back lists. And So there might be a bidding war here. And they don't seem to care very much for Raheem Mostert, which, okay. So I'm going to want to anticipate that the guys I want probably going to go for more than market value. So let's say Austin Eckler, Josh Jacobs, Kendrick. Let's say I have to pay $47 for one of them. Where does that put me at? 55, 50, $152. Well, then I guess I could get two of the guys I like David Johnson, Chris Carson, Miles Sanders. Hopefully I can get those guys for... Well, I'm going to have to get one of these guys and then get a wide receiver 3. But then I'll be short in the depth of running back. And I sure don't like to be short in the depth of running back. What am I going to do if I'm short? Who's going for not that much here? David Johnson, Devin Singletary, no. Cam Akers. Cam Akers isn't bad. Nope, nobody. So I think I'm going to have to extend and maybe budget $80 for 2 running backs that I love here. That would get me up to $185. But on the other hand, I would have Michael Thomas, Devonta Adams, and 2 RB1s. So I can pay a couple bucks for a QB and a couple bucks for a tight end and still have almost $2 per player for my bench. It's interesting, wide receiver, mirroring the same issues that come up with snake draft strategy, except in snake draft strategy, when you go wide receiver, Cook and Chubb and Drake and Eckler and Jacobs aren't on the board anymore. So it's fun. This is another reason why I like auction. There's still possibilities out there. I'm not sitting here going, well, I guess I gotta draft David Johnson. I'm going, no, there's a chance that this could go this way. There's a chance it won't, a better chance, but we'll see. We'll see. The important thing is, at the end of the day, I got 2 guys I love, and I only spent $105 for it. This is fun. Usually I don't think this much, because usually I have 1 running back at this point, and then everything starts to fall into place. So I'm glad this happened for this live stream here, because it's nice to think this out loud and show you what's going on. It really comes down to what price Drake, Eckler, Jacobs, Sanders go for. I don't think I want Sanders as my number 1. Drake, Eckler, Jacobs. I'll throw Cook and Chubb in there, but I'm not going to bid their market value. I wouldn't be too offended if I had one of those there. But I'm not going to, because these big guys, in fact, if they're not, okay, good. I probably should have nominated Cook just to get one of these 3 guys with giant stacks and no running backs out of the race. Wait, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that was. I'm glad somebody nominated them. Eventually, you gotta give a running back to people who are clearly sandbagging. You're not going to fill up their thing with a running back that's down the board. And I should have pivoted at my last nomination and just gone full on top of the list. But somebody else did it for me. That's great. That's what happens when you nominate players you don't want. Is players nominate players that work out your game for you. Dalvin Cook went for 48. Average cost 58.4. That is a curveball. Does that mean Kenyon Drake, Austin Eckler, and Josh Jacobs won't go for market value? I don't know. I'm glad we have Nick Chubb coming up now. Nick Chubb will be a good test of the market. If Nick Chubb goes for less than market value, people just are not bidding on players they're not enthused with. If Nick Chubb goes for more than market value, I don't know. I'll think about it when I come to it. Okay, come on, Nick Chubb. You gotta go for another thing. I will hammer 35 and have my $36 running back. Come on, people. I'm not price enforcing. I'm just saying, dude, for $39, Nick Chubb as my wide receiver 1 would get me out of the question. I'm not in a I'm not in like a dilemma, but I am in a big question mark situation where I don't know how to plan out the rest of my team. And Chubb for 35 would get me out of there with a decent player for a cheap amount. But luckily people are bidding. Still, this guy has 169 and no running back 1. this guy right here, I imagine, will beat this guy because this guy has no running backs and this guy has Dalvin Cook. But either way, I bet you they're going to go to town. I'm surprised Seth Bruns here doesn't bid on this guy. It makes me wonder if Seth Bruns is trying to... He only has George Kittle. I think the guy's asleep at the wheel. That's all I know. Good, I wanted Allen to get Nick Chubb here, and for less than market value. Okay. So the question is, do I have to go, when Kenyon Drake, Josh Jacobs, or Austin Eckler get nominated, do I need to push for it more than projected value? And I think that the answer is only a little. Thank you for jumping up there. Only a little. Not past my $45 mark that I kind of outlined earlier. All right, who's bidding? Seth Bruns is bidding. Okay, Seth. Did you finally care about something? Good, good. Jay, I forgot you existed. You're still a human, okay. Let's see here. Now I want the guy. So now I'm just leaning forward going, come on, let's do this. Uh-huh, Jay, stop being a tease, dude. This is what I mean by it's exhausting. Now I gotta think. Do I want him for 44? No. No. The fact that people are bidding so low makes me think that I only want... And Seth Burns is nominating Chris Carson. Seth Burns clearly is doing the whole scroll down and nominate a guy down there. I love Chris Carson as like a $25 to $35 guy. I wouldn't mind him as... He'd be tolerable as an RB2, especially backing up Michael Thomas and Devonta Adams. The thing is, Kenyon Drake and Austin Eckler, every running back before him, there's been a streak of running backs going for below market value. What are the odds that Kenyon Drake and Austin Eckler, they're not even the bottom of the tier for most tiers. Most people have enough people have Miles Sanders in that tier that I think it will be fine. We'll see. This is fun. This is why we mock. I think I'm only going to go 25 with Chris Carson. Nah, you know what? He'd be fine as an RB2. Plus, Chris Carson doesn't really get people thrilled. Yes, yes, yes. You love being a weirdo. Screw it. 29, that's my final offer. Need to get another beer anyway. Okay, so I guess I got Chris Carson for 29. How much did I budget max for my two? I said 80 max, but it'd be more comfortable if I bid like 40, 45. Which hopefully I'll get Kenyon Drake or Austin Eckler for 40, 45. And then I'll have a reasonable team. I'll have to get real fringy, but... Calvin Ridley, cool. You're a wide receiver too. Just tune into the chat because I know Calvin Ridley's not going to go for less than 50% of his value because people have money and no wide receivers. So now I have to do the most important part of the auction, talking myself into Chris Carson. Yeah, that's a good offense. Rashad Penny's nobody. Jeff hates Rashad Penny. All right. Juju Smith-Schuster. Okay. So what's going on here? I have 60. I don't care about Juju Smith-Schuster right now. So I'm going to just take stock. I have $66 left. I still need an RB1. Probably going to have to pay $40 for one. That will leave $26. I'm going to want another RB, which will probably be $15. That'll leave $11 for my quarterback, tight end, and bench. Oh, I don't know. I don't like that. But it's all right because even if it doesn't work, I have Michael Thomas, Devonta Adams, and Chris Carson, and I can just pull a rabbit out of my hat from lottery tickets. Well, no, sorry. I have Michael Thomas and Devonte Adams. And then maybe Chris Carson. Won't be horrible. I don't know why I just lumped him in there. I'm already starting to do the reprogramming to love Chris Carson. Oh my gosh. Okay, so what happened to the big stacks people? You have Saquon Barkley. You still don't seem to have a pulse. So you have Nick Chubb. And there's, what, 3 guys left I want? So, worst case scenario, Seth Burns wakes up. Second worst case scenario, Jaron and Allen outbid me in a heated bidding war up to 40. Yeah, up to 40 for Drake and Eckler and Lee Sanders, or 2 of those 3, and leave the other one. Oh, Sanders is going. Oh, and Seth Bruns wakes up and bids something immediately. Great. Oh, yeah, here. Oh, thank you, Jim, for jump bidding. Gee whiz. The crowd is alive, people. This has brought Seth Bruns back from the grave. The amazing healing power of Miles Sanders. Alright. If he goes one more, I'm going to get up and get another beer. Or maybe I'll just end up with him. Alright, done. Who got nominated? Russell Wilson. Fascinating. Right now I'm holding out for quarterback discount. I know I said I wanted a quarterback for less than 10, but I'm holding out for a little bit of a discount. Just because if I do that, it would make my team a lot easier. And if not, I can grab like Matt Ryan and Stafford for probably 2 for 5. Okay, it's my turn. What don't these people have? Bruns doesn't have anything. Allen only has 1 wide receiver. So because I don't want to nominate David Johnson, or I like David Johnson, Devin Singletary, I just want to get people bidding on stuff. Let's just go with Amari Cooper here. Try to suck a little more money out of the pot. I don't know. Right now the nomination, not our bet. Not our best bet. We've already done it. What round is it? We've only picked, it's round 4. And we're an hour into this. Alright. That's another thing about auction is it never ends in a good way. If you're me. Alright. Casey, quit ruining it for everyone. Seth Burns isn't interested in Amari Cooper. Danny. You're not pulling money from the people I want to pull money from. Yeah. Thank you. Alan and Seth Burns. You guys argue. Everybody else, where am I in money total? I have 66. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people. I'm in the top 50% still. And Seth Bruns has actually like woken up and done a thing. So, all right. I'm still sitting all right. It's just this running back scenario has me just a little anxious. But not too anxious because, you know, I've got Devonte Adams and Michael Thomas. I can hit enough lottery tickets. Cooper Kupp. Good. Okay, somebody else nominated a high-value player. And Allen and Seth aren't biting, but it doesn't really matter because I'm never going to knock them down enough where I can outbid them. I just wanted them to look at their team, and I know Seth's looking at his team doing what I'm doing, going, there's a hole, what do I do? And I want as few people doing that as possible. And the more players you have, like I keep talking myself off the ledge by going, Michael Thomas and Devonta Adams, that's cool. So I'm not as heated. But Seth Burns, I'm like, you got to be like on the ledge right now, wondering why you didn't end up with a player you wanted. Seth Burns is not barbecue strategying. All right, moment of truth. Seth Burns showing interest. Not my favorite thing. But not the end of the world. Allen and Seth Burns were waiting out for Kenyon Drake. Or Austin Eckler, I guess. All right. Oh yeah, they like this guy. The bids are peppering. They're peppering him with bids, or I don't know how to say that. This also shows why you don't want to wait to the end of a tier, which we accidentally have done here, to start showing interest in a player, because other people have them in the same tier, and start. It's Bruns. That's why I keep pausing, because I'm all Seth Bruns. Boo runs. Okay, Austin Eckler for 40. That was the worst, best case scenario. So now let's take stock of our team. We have $26 left, which gives us a max bid of $16, and we've got a lot of parts to fill. I'm going to keep an eye on Kenyon Drake to see how that. I bet you Kenyon Drake goes for a ton because there is nobody else. You got to roll with David Johnson if you aren't Kenyon Drake. So, yeah. Happy to get a guy who wasn't the very last in the tier. Let's see. If I spend $5 for two quarterbacks, two high-risk quarterbacks, and $5 for two tight ends. Notice I'm getting two tight ends, two quarterbacks. That's because of COVID. That's specifically because of COVID. Normally, I might do it just to get two lottery tickets, but they have to have a high upside. But this year, it's just mandatory that I get two of every position except for kicker and defense because of COVID regulations. So that's 10. That would leave me with $16. I grab a wide receiver for $5. That's $15. That's $11 left. Boy, I'm really kind of. I don't think I want to do the. Oh, and Kenyon Drake. See, already over $40. That's what happens when you're the last in the tier. I might have to go with two $1 QBs. Two. Sam, I think Sam says, have you managed to quantify the COVID stats of immune systems and likelihood to lie about having the sniffles? I wonder if some north-south running backs are going to lie and be like, hey, other team, I passed my temperature check, but I've had a high cough, so maybe you don't want to tackle me with your head up as you should, or something. I don't know. So Kenyon Drake went for 45. So just one side note, my strategy to bid 40 max for Drake, Eckler, and Jacobs was spot on. I got one of them for 40. Yeah, so good job me, I guess. I don't know yet because we're not quite done with this. But I do have Austin Eckler and Chris Carson, which is a decent running back core to back up Michael Thomas and Devonta Adams. Right now my main threat is not having a decent running back depth. And let's take a look at that. Tight ends, who cares? I can grab two $1 or $2 players. Same for quarterbacks. Let's check that out. I'm definitely going to be sacrificing a little bench here. But, oh well. Had to sacrifice my bench. Alright, so. Let's see here. Boy, Cakers going for $8 here. If that happens to this auction, it's going to me. Kareem Hunt going for 4.8. That's deceptive. Kareem Hunt, I would windmill slam $5 for, but lately he was $3 2 weeks ago, and people have been playing double-digit dollars as they should lately. So I can't really count on Kareem Hunt as a safety valve like I used to. However, people aren't thrilled with Jordan Howard. Yeah, if I could get just if I could get just another guy for a little bit of a steal, like Hunt or Akers, that would be a good running back 3. And then I could round my team out with like Dobbins and Vaughn and Jordan Howard. Guys where I'm like, I don't know if you're going to come up and it might take you some time, but I don't need you right now. I love going rookies for my bench running backs because they tend to develop over time. And if they're on my bench, I don't need them right now. How many picks in are we? Not 50. Only 50. All right. This usually picks up over time, just like a snake draft. because people get less and less money and less interested. ESPN I would probably prefer to Yahoo because ESPN has a pass button. It sucks when you're sitting at $2 max and everyone else is sitting at $1, and somebody nominates a player you don't want, and everybody has to wait their 30 seconds to see if you want to bid. And I'm like, I can just pass an ESPN and it'll go to the next person. So ESPN auctions usually go faster. I think I might start shifting over to ESPN auctions. But I don't know, I love this. It's like bright colors and there's purple. I don't know. I think Yahoo's layout is a little prettier. And when you do this 50 to 100 times a month, aesthetics count. Ooh, Mark Andrews. Not going to be a guy I get. So what can I do now with this time here? Let me see here. Here we go. I've got 2 players. Where's my checklist? Oh, well. Where's my pencil? I had a pencil. It was very dear to me. Its name was Pencil-y Pencil. Oh, here we go. So $35 RB, done with my checklist. $25 RB. It says 50% wide receiver 2. I'm going to go ahead and make it 50% wide receiver 2 or RB3. Just because I love RB depth. Less than $10 QB. I'm going to do less than $5 QB. I have to make some adjustments because my front 4 are so strong. $12 for bench. We'll just see what I end up for at bench. As long as I can bid. It's okay to have 3 or 4 $1 players on your bench, as long as you can commandeer the bid for at least 2 players. You know, you can bid $2 to $3 or $4 to get the bench you really like. Wow, Mark Andrews. Bill. And everyone stuck around. That's pretty cool. Except for Seth Bruns, who decided to leave right now after giving me the business. Thanks, Seth. All right, Bill, what did you end up with? Mark Andrews. You've got kind of a team. It's interesting that Bill bid 23 for Mark Andrews, and whatever he bid for Lamar Jackson has to be at least 35. He sacrificed his second RB strength. Devin Singletary is not a great RB2. But I'm liking this guy's team, despite the fact he does 2 things that I never do. But how much money does Bill have left? 53. Wow, okay. Right on, Bill. Other strategies are possible. DeAndre Swift. Would not mind him for $5, but this early in the draft, we're still in the first third of the draft. Not in terms of time, but in terms of picks. He's not. Rookies don't go for a bargain early. Don't nominate your rookies early. You're not going to slide somebody under the table and everyone goes, "Who's that? I guess I won't bid on him," because everyone's sitting here with these valuation charts in front of them and stuff. But back when I first started playing, and when I first did auction 15 years ago, you could kind of slip a rookie past people, but now that they have it all streamlined, not a strategy anymore. As you can see from DeAndre Swift going for $16. What the heck? Okay, now I need to look at my team. I have Michael Thomas and Devonta Adams. Ooh, Austin Eckler. I'll take Chris Carson. All right. I really got to shop for value now. That's the main thing, in case you didn't notice. I'm just waiting for values. And waiting for values is fine. They come. But you have to settle in. As I am doing right now with my beers and my chat. You have to settle in. Because it might be 20 minutes before somebody comes up that I actually feel like bidding on. I want to say that I've never shopped at Chipotle in my entire life, so this ad, you did a bad job of targeting me. I can make my own Mexican food. Come on, or whatever they do. It's interesting, of all the peppers they chose to name their place after, it's Chipotle. They couldn't be like Scorpion or Ghost, Habanero, Scotch Bonnet. Anyway, it's Chipotle. Zach Ertz. Also going for 21. I'm liking this. Let other people sap their money out from players I was never going to get anyway. like Keenan Allen. Who's the next player that I would get Cam Akers or Kareem Hunt. If I get Cam Akers or Kareem Hunt for their average dollar value, this ship has fully righted itself. Not that that's a bad analogy because the ship's going fine. Look over here. All I need is players that's going to come in and score 5 to 10 points per week, and these guys are going to win it all for them. But I would like to shore up my running back depth with a third running back that I like, and I think only Kareem Hunt and Cam Akers are it. How am I doing for money? I have 26. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 people have more than me, but that's okay. Because I have the best team. Interesting, if you go over here, it goes to standings. Notice how the standings is based on an estimate of total points for the season. Because of that, I figured out you can force being top in the standings if you draft like 3 or 4 extra quarterbacks because they scored their most points. I might read an article or something on that. Let's go over to Twitch and see if anyone has been patiently waiting. I'm glad we picked this one to do live because this is a real nail biter. Usually I just roll in and do barbecue strategy while I'm watching my kids and also working and it's fine. But here I'm like, huh. Oh, did you hear that noise? You might not have heard it, but it came through my headphones. It's the noise that means it's your turn to auction. I would have totally missed that had I not had an audio source ready and going. Let's see if anyone wants to bite on Geis. Now that the Washington football team... Oh, it's just Washington football team! Yay! All right. I like when Jeff quipped today. He's like... I was glad they changed the name from Redskins because I'm sick of having to say Washington's football team. But now they haven't fixed that problem, so I don't know what to do. Let's see. It looks like there's no one in the chat. Cool. Good. I'm glad you're all here. I will eventually learn how to have the Twitch chat on my screen and stuff, but I haven't Twitched in 3 years, I think. And even when I did Twitch, it was just to, when I did stream on Twitch, it was just, I would do charity drives where people would donate. I would have a prize and people would donate. Instead of a raffle, I would make a wrestler in their likeness in WWE 2K14. And then I would have them all Royal Rumble for the prize and stream it. So I haven't really done the interactivity thing yet, but I'll learn. I'm old, but I'm malleable. What draft grade am I shooting for tonight? You know, that's a good question. I like when I do a draft and it tells me I'm in the 90s, but you know how it is with Yahoo. Sometimes I'm like, this was a good team, and they give me a low score. And sometimes I'm like, this team sucked. Like the other day, I'm like, this team was like a B, and they're like, hey, almost an A+. And I'm like, no. So really when I draft, what grade I'm shooting for is I'm shooting for a smiley face from Evan, where when I look over here at the end of the draft, I go, yeah, all these people are people I liked. I didn't get forced to bid on some turd in my own heart of hearts. That's an unspoken first strategy for barbecue is learn to black and white everyone. Well, that's not right in today's political climate. Learn to love or hate everyone. Just none of this middle. If he goes for a good value, I'll get him. Just be like, look, I want these guys. And I don't want these guys, and then practice getting just the guys you love. It's quite doable. We're not quite. It's funny that we're seeing wide receiver 2s go for more than projected value. That is not a usual trend, and it makes me want to. It makes me want to nominate wide receiver 2s. Just looking at everyone's. Yeah, everyone's dollar values are really sinking down. People must not have 2 wide receivers. Yeah. So this is, oh yeah, oh people, I don't know what they're doing. This is important though. Right now, these wide receivers aren't going for the usual savings they are at all. Cortland Sutton never goes for $17. What did we just have? We had Terry McLaurin going for $1 more than value. At these times, it feels good that I got Michael Thomas and Devonta Adams for below market value, because I was willing to stepping up early for stuff, recognizing if people aren't spending enough early, or people are spending too much early and zigging where everyone else is zagging. It really comes through towards the end, where now I'm like, well, I'd rather have both of these guys than be playing market value for these losers, you know? Who I'm still on the love list, but I'm like, I love them because they go for $9 usually, not because I would bid 50 or 55 for them. So that's nice. And it's sucking money out of the pot like gangbusters. Remember, I was really that far behind, but now there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 people who are significantly ahead of me, 2 people who are about the same as me, and those people are bidding like crazy on these wide receiver 2s that aren't going to win you the league. Let's see. What else can I talk about? I like auction drafting. It's my fantasy football auctions are my second favorite pastime, that's for sure. And it's in tier 1 by a large margin. Let's see here. And also look over here. There's a lot of wide receiver 2s left. We're relatively late in the draft for starters. We're in round 6, you know. That's where you kind of start drafting your last likable guys. But Lockett, Chark, Debo, maybe Landry, I don't know. Diggs, Gallup, Boyd. These are all people I would have on my starting roster. You know, and with people having no money, it's nice. It makes me think I'm going to nominate a wide receiver if there's still a lot left. Or I might also nominate, this late, I might try to stack the quarterback market by nominating a quarterback I don't like. Like somebody will bid 2 for Aaron Rodgers and stuff. Although I don't know if I will, because right now Josh Allen is the only tier 1 quarterback still on the board. I might have bid 7 for him. Yeah, I'm definitely going to have 2 of Ryan, Stafford. I'll even take... I don't know. I guess Mayfield. Oh, Daniel Jones has a high upside. I'll get 2 of those guys. 2 high upside quarterbacks equals 1 for sure quarterback. Josh Allen for 7 is not bad. It's not bad, but other people are going to get bids, and I'd rather have that $8 right now than Josh Allen. That $8 is currently half of my max bid. This is exciting. I don't know how this team's going to end up. I usually don't have question marks this late. Kamikers. Okay. Cakers. People seem to be popping on this guy. Yep. There he goes. Okay. So, not ending up with Kamikers, but that's okay. That makes me glad that I forced in Chris Carson earlier. Because I'd hate to be bidding 17 on Kamikers and not have Chris Carson, who's, you know, he's not going to last the whole season, and he's not going to be the only running back the whole season, but he's going to be the only running back long enough for me to develop some of my bench. With these RB2s, especially when I draft 2 wide receivers, I find it's best to save some money on RBs. I think Austin Eckler is going to last the whole season. The dude never gets hit. But save some money on RBs, where I'm like, you're going to produce right away in the beginning, and your long-term effect is probably going to be bad. Because then I can get some cheap rookies down here and develop the talent I need and still keep my record competitive over the first month or so. Dang, Kamikers 25. What happened there? Bill, you love Kamikers. Bill Akers Jr. All right. Whoa, Nick just jumped. Okay, I like this. I like DJ Chark, but I like getting money out of the pot more. Wow, this is an exciting. I rarely see wide receiver 2s go so late. People were sandbagging, which adds another point to me. I'm glad I got in early and got the guys I wanted, because if I was trying to play the savings game, well, I kind of did too. I don't know. This is looking all right. Let's see who got him. Bill got Camakers. All right, Bill. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's only 4 people in the draft with more money than me right now, which is awesome. The market righted itself. The curve flattened. The market evened out, where I was way behind and I didn't have a lot of depth, but then everyone started bidding on these wide receiver 2s and it straightened out. And there's still going to be a wide receiver 2 that goes for half. What if that doesn't happen this time? I've done 50 auctions and it's not happened that a wide receiver 2 that I consider one of the top 31 wide receivers has gone for not one, has gone for less than half of his value. What if that happens this time and we documented it on live Geraldo Rivera television? That would be fun. And it also shows the need for flexibility in auctions. Let's see, I would say the only viable receivers left are Lockett, Diggs, Gallup, and is Boyd still up? Boyd has to be still up. And Boyd. Although you might debate me on Boyd. I'm not going to die on that hill. I saw it one time it went down to the last guy. Wow, yeah, money is getting sucked out of this. Is great. Notice how it's interesting. A wide receiver 2 going for less than 50% is usually, almost always, the linchpin, the release valve that barbecue strategy depends on. It's fun to see it not happening, yet we depend on it not happening. We want these wide receivers 2s to go for more. Ooh, does anyone like some AJ Green? Num num num, broken joints. Let's see here. Still only sitting on 4 guys, though. That's an issue. Although 2, maybe 3 of them are first rounders, but still wouldn't mind Kareem Hunt. And then round my team out with, let's see, Matt Ryan and Matthew Stafford would be optimal. Then tight ends, you can always get 2 for $2 in the situation. Give me Gesicki, Fant, Goddard. I'll give you $3 total. Maybe one of these gentlemen will fall. This is amazing. Gallup's in my yes pile, but not for $12. Obviously for $6. Okay, a Kansas City homer will grab the Kansas City running back I don't want. Cool. How is Damien Williams' projected value $10? Whom do I need to email and convince? Come to the church of football absurdity. Wow. Jay, you Kansas City living nutbag. Wow, everyone here lives in Kansas City. That's another great coincidence, I guess. Who has more money than me? Alan, and Alan seems to have woken up and thrown his weight around. Then just 2 other people. PS and Jim. Huh. This might work out optimally. No matter what, I'm going to have 3 guys I'm in love with, and Chris Carson, who'll get by me time. But I wouldn't mind getting Kareem Hunt. That would really be the piece, the resistance. I would be willing to bet up to, so my max, 16. I might bid as high as 10, maybe even 12 for Kareem Hunt, just because then I'd have the depth. We'll see. Tyler Higbee. How can you like a player whose name is Tyler Higbee? You know, I'm pretty sure my postman is named Tyler Higbee. Oh, and the answer is nobody likes him. Okay. Cool. I have to. I'm sorry. I usually don't price police, but $3 for Tyler Higbee, I will take it. Alright, got my tight end. We're at 23. Max bid is 14. Sony Michel. Wow. People, is there anybody without a starting pair of running backs yet? That's important in my next nomination here. Wow, Seth Bruns, you're just hunting for support now. Let's see here. Nope, we all have 2 running backs. Good. Huh. Well, moment of truth. I'm just going to act like I don't like this guy. Maybe nobody else will either. Other people like him. That's too bad. $9 from Seth Brunswick. Well, what am I going to do here? Jordan Howard it is. So I'm going to have to populate this with a lot of rookies. Which isn't the worst thing ever. Oh, I have Tyler Higbee. That's cool. This is why barbecue strategy exists. I would say a majority of the things that happened in this auction did not go how they usually happen. Did not go in the way I wanted them to happen. But at the end of the day, I still have Michael Thomas, Devonte Adams, Austin Eckler, a decent RB2, a tight end for $3 who doesn't totally suck. It's going to be alright. It's going to be more than alright. And if I can piece together, and there's still a chance for some steals at the end here. The old Aaron Rodgers bidding war. Cool. Let's see it. Somebody want to say 7. Who says 7? He's got a wide receiver. His wide receiver went for 50, guys. Come on. Somebody bid something. $6 for Aaron Rodgers is ridiculous. I've seen him go for $1 most times. Usually mostly actually $2. Because somebody goes, ooh, Aaron Rodgers, and clicks, and then everyone's like, no. These would be a nice flex here. Do I want to bid 12 my $14 max for him? No. Right now, because I've got such a solid core, but I got a lot of risk over here, I really want to use my $23, my 14 max, on a few players that come in every week, get 5 to 10 points, and the rest just high upside lottery tickets. Because these guys will buy me time until, some of these guys will buy me time until I can develop talent. Hunter Henry Hippos. Let's see. Let me talk myself into Tyler Higbee not sucking. Let's see. Last year you did a thing. Well, that's not bad. This year you're projected to do a different thing. That's okay. Whatever. At least I'm not paying $9 for Hunter Henry in back half of the draft. Frank Gore is draftable. Cool. Drew Brees for $9, ladies and gentlemen. This is the world in which we live right now. COVID sweeping the world. There's race riots in America. Revolution's coming, and Drew Brees is going for $9 American dollars. Makes me wonder if I'll get Matt Ryan and Matt Stafford. I kind of have to get them, so I'll bid a little more. But we'll see. We'll see. The important thing is I got Tyler Higbee for $3. Pack it in, people. You can all go home early. All right, here. Jared Cook. You somehow got 9 touchdowns last year. There are only 2 teams that have more dollars than me. Problem is they have a lot more dollars than me. Alright. What did I say I was going to do? Let's fill up somebody's QB hole. Ooh, yeah. 2 people have to like TV. Tuberculosis running rampant in Tampa Bay. There it is. I'll suck $5 out of the pot. More importantly, did that plug his QB hole? No, it's a backup. Well, screw you. Who doesn't have a quarterback right now? You don't. You don't. God, get a quarterback, people, so I can get mine. You don't. Wow, all you people smartly waiting on quarterbacks. Right now, just FYI, I'm still at the point where I look at my team and I go, yeah, I'm excited to run this team. But I need some things to break for me right. I need to get a couple guys with starter potential from running backs. I wouldn't mind getting Tyler Boyd, the last wide receiver 2 I care about. Well, you know what? Will Fuller's not bad either. Will Fuller, the good thing about Will Fuller in the flex is you get like 3 or 4 weeks to develop another player before Will Fuller utterly breaks. But he needs to go for $1 or $2. Yeah, $1.6 is the right price for Will Fuller. Justin Tucker, I will usually bid up to $3 on Justin Tucker because it's worth an extra $2 to not have to think about kickers, which is a waste of my life. At the end of my life, I will calculate how much time I thought about kickers and rue. And but I don't have $3 right now, even though I still have the second most money of anybody here, third most. I don't have the time. I don't have enough money. I got to make a good bench here because I've got a short-term team with Carson here and probably Will Fuller or somebody, and I just need to have some good lottery tickets. Like, who are some good lottery tickets? Let's take it position by position. Dobbins. That's a guy who's going to take control at some point and do not a great job, but all right. Keyshawn Vaughn has high upside. Alexander Mattison, although that might never, it's less avoidable. Maybe Pollard or Moss. I don't know. Chinese laundry. All right. Ah, the computer isn't. Wait, why are people jump bidding? What is going on right now? Who? I thought you were all from Kansas City. Why is... Alright. Two people with more money than me want to go crazy over Cleveland's wide receiver 2. More power to them. Then what am I going to do for wide receiver 2? 3. Tyler Boyd would fit in the flex pretty well. Will Fuller would fit in the flex pretty well. I just round it out with one of these guys. Alright, moment of truth. And officially no wide receiver, two that I love, has gone for, will have gone for under 50% of their value. That's cool. This is the first time in 50 auctions, literally 50 auctions I looked today, that this has happened. And I bet you it's related to people not bidding up Michael Thomas and Devonta Adams earlier. That led to them having more capital to bid later. But that's super weird. It's cool. Whom am I going to nominate? Tight ends are off the table. Is there a quarterback? I'm kind of concerned about my quarterback problem. Can I nominate Ben Roethlisberger? Someone's going to believe in. Or I get him for $1. Do I want him for $1? This is the point where you have to ask yourself, would you end up with this guy for $1 and not kick yourself? I don't want Ryan Tannehill because I give him like 8 throws per game. Daniel Jones I like too, but no one's going to bid him up. You look at the average cash, it looks like Matt Ryan and Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz, I really want to nominate him, but I don't know. Maybe they are all using barbecue strategy, although it feels like they're all just savvier. I don't know, it feels like this was a fun, weird draft. And I learned a lot. And I'm $2 away from having the second most money. Gronkowski, great nomination. Great jump raise there. Try and get Jim to bid on stuff. What am I doing max? 12. Also the third most max. That's cool. Wish Kareem Hunt hadn't gone for $12, but that's okay. It's kind of good that he's going for $12. I like to see the Kareem Hunt respect. What are we doing here? Bill, you're not there. Why isn't the computer nominating for you? Fluffabo. Okay. I don't want to pay $2 for a defense. You think about last year where people were paying the most money for Chicago Bears defense. It's hard to predict defense. And I got New England for like $1 in most of my leagues. Let's see what's going on with running backs. I would love Jordan Howard. Oh, okay, let me be the guy who bids. Oh, no. I think I might just have to go up to 5 for Ryan. Do you have a... Yeah, you have a... Screw it, I'll get Stafford for 3. Cool, you love Stafford so much that you're going to start him with Deshaun Watson. Great plan, bro. It's fun when this happens. Because in most of my leagues, normal stuff happens. But in my big money league where you all pay $250 and there's 14 people, it's more like this, where I'm like, wow, I'm not prepared for this. So I'm glad I'm getting the weird, tough outlier. And at the end of the day, I still have Michael Thomas, Devonte Adams, and Adam Eckler. Austin Eckler, whoever that is. I heard somebody pronounce his name Ecular. And I'm like, it's not Ecular, like Dracular. Or I would be all over making team names about that. $8! Woo! Big spender. I now have the second most money. It's too bad Jim, who has the most money, doesn't even have an RB2. So I might have to. I'm nominating next. I'm definitely going to nominate an RB. Who's an RB who's going to appeal to this guy? Let's search by average cash. Oh, I don't want J.K. Dobbins to be. Philip Lindsay. Maybe you haven't heard about Melvin Gordon. Nick, you're messing up a thing here. I'm doing a thing. Jim does not want him. Jim might be unconscious. Has anyone phoned Jim's wife? Okay. Oh, Jim got... Wait. What? Jim got Philip Lindsay for $3. Okay, cool. So it worked. People stop bidding on Matt Ryan. Just stop. Just... Okay? Stop it. I just wanted one nice thing, okay? Don't judge me. What's going on here? Brandon Cooks is still around? I'll throw 3 on Cooks. You guys love overpaying for wide receiver twos. What am I thinking about here? I want Will Fuller. I want Jordan Howard. I might actually add these to my queue just to remind me because I've been drinking. Will Fuller's alright. That way I get guys I like. And I see when they're running low on guys I like. I can talk myself into Keyshawn Vaughn. I can talk myself into Manny Sanders. I'm doing it on running backs, though. I love my team right now. The only thing I don't love is that I have 2 running backs. How much money do I have? 17. What's my max? 9. I might go a little high for Dobbins and Howard and Vaughn, because if that would make my team feel a lot better. If I had those 5 running backs, yeah. Even if I have to spend, okay, so how many places do I have besides that? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6. And I have how much money left? 17. So I would say Howard, Dobbins, and Vaughn, I would budget 11 to try to get all or 2 of them. Hopefully get all. And then I'll just spend $1 players on the rest. Because right now my only weakness is lack of running back depth. So what if I just got 2 of them? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That would be $10 for 2 of them. So maximum $10 for 2 of them. Okay. How's everyone else doing on max bid? You're done. You drive me crazy. You're done. You drive me crazy. You're done. You drive me crazy. Done, 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 done. Done, but you have 13 out of 15 players, so I'm not really too worried about you. You're going to fill up. So, it could be, it could not be. We'll see how this goes. If I can get 2 of those 3 guys, I'd call this draft a feel good, thumbs up, smiley face sunshine draft. Which is what I demand from myself constantly. How's it going to be? And we won't be going all the way to pick 180. If you're still picking at pick 130, you're a sucker because you're picking from the last ranked people. You want to get your guys and get out by 2/3 of the way through the draft, which we will be doing. I got their max bid still. I'd love for Jim to fill up. Jim and Danny, well, they're not going to fill up. They're my only competition. Although Jim's missing a quarterback. No, Danny's missing a quarterback. Danny likes Jim Roethlisberger. Here, I might be tempted to price enforce, except, I don't know. Danny still has $17. I'm not going to get him. Oh, no, somebody else enforce. Cool. Now watch, Danny's going to go to 3.